What's happening, fellow renegades? It's Ave Dominus New back again with more 40k content. At some point in time, you have to make a Primarch tier list. And to be fair, I already made a Primarch tier list. I made a tier list that said which Primarch would be the best Emperor had they been put in that position. And this time, we're just going for the generic. I just read Dropsite Massacre. It was an excellent book. And there were some Primarch fights, and they weren't all conclusive. But it had me thinking, I was like, dang, I ain't making no Primarch Duelist tier list, so here it is. Who, out of all the brothers, can whoop each other's ass? And this is, before I continue, I need you to know that this tier list is going to be completely biased. There's probably a lot of I've read a lot of Horus Heresy, I'm going to be using a lot of that information, but a lot of the rankings that I'm going to make are just based off of how much I really like them. And some things will be acceptable, and other things will not be, so I just want you to prepare yourself for that. Also, before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm on my 40k journey. Perhaps you're on yours too. Maybe we could be on a journey together. Let's journey together. But not in a weird way. Alright, so we got the goddamn tier list. And we've got some Primarchs. Let's see who we got here. I see Curze. Alright, so I guess I'll just go in the order that these guys are already in. But then again, let's go in order of their actual number, okay? So first off is Mr. Lion L. Johnson, the white man with a black man's name. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Lion L. Johnson is definitely one of the best Primarchs. However, when it comes to fighting, he's going to whoop most of his brother's asses, if not all of them. But we need to take him down a tier. Because you see that S tier right there? That's for Sanguinius. So let's just say, there's lots of examples of Lion whooping his brother's ass. I think he beat Russ on 2 different occasions. Pretty sure he stabbed him on Terra in this other book I'm reading. No spoilers. And then, you know, I've also seen him whoop Conrad Curze's ass pretty good, and I'm biased towards him. So I say he's, you know, he's in that preeminent top fighters. I don't really think there's a whole lot of people messing with him. He's the first. He's the big brother. His Legion specializes in sword fighting. He specializes in sword fighting. I can't think of anyone besides who could take him down besides maybe a few other people on this list. So next we're going to go with number 3. That's Fulgrim. So Fulgrim's a pretty good fighter. Fulgrim beat Ferrus Manus, so he's actually one of the few Primarchs that has a Primarch kill under his belt. His Legion specializes in swordsmanship and dueling, similar to the Lion. But I just don't think that Fulgrim has that same proven track record as his brother. If we're talking about beating Ferrus, I'm pretty sure the Lion could have did that too. But Ferrus is a big kill, in my opinion, because he's considered the tough guy as far as the Primarchs go. So beating him is a good victory. But I just don't know. He lost to Dorn. Sure, he was fully chaos at this time, but he was fighting him in his OG Primarch mode. And Dorn totally humbled him, so I got to put him down a tier. I'm going to put him in B tier and I might move him later on. So who's number 4? Is that Perturabo? Where's Perturabo at? Okay, so my boy. Probably equal to Fulgrim. So I don't know if it was a fair one, but in the book, it's not a fair one, but in the book, Angel Exterminatus, they faced off, not in a real fight, but they had kind of a standoff and stuff like that. And he kind of bashed up Fulgrim's face and stuff. Sure, Fulgrim didn't have his weapon on him, but I don't know. I think if Perturabo can get the drop on you like that, I think he has to be at least probably as good a fighter as he is. And then Perturabo's not really a duelist. Let's take this down a notch, because he's not really a duelist. He'll do whatever it takes to get done. So one-on-one situations really may not be his specialty. Remember what his dialogue between Dorn and him. He told Dorn hey, you know, I'm gonna beat your ass. You know, the first wall is mine. And Dorn was like, all right then, how about we do this right now? Let's just fight. And Perturabo was just sort of no, I want to beat you as a commander. A brawl in the dirt might suit you, but it doesn't suit me. And Dorn said to him, you may brawl, but I'm a master swordsman. And we're not even talking about Dorn yet, but it doesn't sound like... I'm going to put Purdy down another tier. Also, he did beat Demon Angron in a fight, but he had a lot of help. There was lots of bolters trained on him, but he did get the job done. So I might I don't know. He might be lower B tier. I'll put him right underneath Fulgrim. Would he have beat Fulgrim in a duel? Who knows? Probably. So next we have number 5. That's the Khan. In fact, this kind of isn't fair. Because I feel like Primarch should have been allowed to be S tier. We're going to have to make a new column. It's reserved for Sanguinius. Nobody's touching him. I'm going to get that out of the way early. So let's move these two up. These are some of the best duelists amongst the Primarchs. And we can push him there. And I might keep you B tier. But I think that the Khan is definitely duelist based. Judging from his style and his weapon and stuff like that, he can hold his own against most of the other brothers. I will put him right up there next to Lion. I do not know who will win if they fought, but I'd say it'd be very close. Khan says that he can kill Fulgrim, and it's just words, but if he says that, I really want to believe him. Also, he managed to vanquish a demon Mortarion, though it cost him his life almost. It should have. We're going to put him up there, because busting a demon Primarch that's not Angron, because everybody busts up Angron. Beating a demon Primarch that's not Angron, that's high up there on the list, man. I think he's one of the preeminent fighters. Shit, I think number 6 is Russ, actually. So Leman Russ is one of the best fighters. There'd be a lot of dirt on his name sometimes. They put a lot of shade on my boy, because like he's had some embarrassing moments. So like, let's talk about some of the reasons that he's one of the best fighters. For one, W over the great sorcerer Magnus. No easy feat. Magnus punched one of his hearts out and stuff like that. He almost died. You know, it's implied that he's taken out another Primarch, multiple Primarch kills, the second or the 11th. Russ possibly has something to do with that. We don't really know for sure, but that's important. Also over Angron. Now, a lot of people will give that to Angron, but if you read the book, I think you'll find that even Lorgar said that Russ, though it's out of character, was trying to teach Angron a lesson. And even though Russ was the one on the floor, Angron's the one who lost. So I'm going to give that one really to Russ. Can he beat the Khan and Lion? I don't think so. He's already lost to Lion multiple times. So in fact, they really probably shouldn't be on the same tier. But I don't feel right putting him underneath Khan. They might be equal in my eyes. Should I push them both down? No, I'll keep him at the bottom of S tier because he's really good. But I almost want to push him down to A tier. Also, he like basically beat Horus too. Horus is one of the better fighters also amongst the Primarchs, and even though with Chaos Juice, he kind of like, he couldn't get the finishing blow, but he had Horus dead to rights. So he's, I'm thinking I'm going to keep my boy S tier. He's a good fighter. But I'm going to keep him underneath Khan and Lion because I don't think he could beat them. So we're on number 7. That is the lucky boy, Dorn. Dorn is also a really good fighter. Got a Primarch kill underneath his belt. Killed Alfarius by himself, probably. And even though the Alpha Legion fan in me still wants to believe that at least one of the brothers is still out there, I think it's pretty well confirmed that he decapitated Alfarius and all this stuff. So, yeah, we got to put my boy up there. Definitely better than Fulgrim. Definitely better than Pert. Now, is he beating Russ? Now, Russ already gave us a list of brothers he could beat. And he said that Gilliman and Dorn was too stolid. There's no way they'd be able to take him, and I believe him. As for the Khan's also way too fast. You get in between all the chinks in his armor and stuff, shut him down. And Lion is just Lion. I'm really not going to put anyone above him besides Vulcan, and saying my mind is already set up. And I don't even think that Vulcan can beat him. So, yeah. Dorn, you're an A-class fighter. You're a monster. So number 8. Conrad Curze, the Night Hunter, my beloved. So, he has stabbed Dorn at least one time. I don't know if that's not a fair one, but we're gonna take it. Dorn should have been more ready. He should have been more prepared and known what he was dealing with. You stabbed Dorn, you got him reeling. You know what I'm saying? That's good enough for me to count as a victory over him. Also, he fought Lion several times, and Lion usually comes up on top. I think they had a draw and 2 victories for the Lion, but you know, that's close. I don't think that he's also beating either of these 2 guys. So wait, hold on a second though. when Russ talked about the Primarchs he could beat, Curze was actually one of the few that he said that he couldn't take because of his insanity. Is very hard to predict. So we slick gotta move him up, my boy. You know, we gotta push him up there. Now, this is not. I am also biased. I think I warned you guys of this before. But yeah, Curze also has like this thing going on where he's like prone to emotional outbursts. And if you're like a pretty solid fighter, I think you could still beat him. So like someone like the Khan or the Lion, I think they could take that. But everyone below that. But yeah, Curze is actually one of the preeminent fighters. Maybe we shouldn't. I do not want to move any of these people down. S tier might be stacked, bro. S tier might actually be stacked for fucking with me. So that was number 8. Also, I'm gonna say this for Curze in the Lion's book. The Lion had slowed down a lot by his own definition, but in everyone else's eyes, he hadn't slowed down a lot. The way Lion saw it, if he fought Curze in his current condition, he'd have had the skin off his bones. That's high praises for Curze, because even he still got enough to beat Angron in demon form. So if you're thinking you can't take Curze, this motherfucker deserves to be in the S tier. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, number 9, the Great Angel. The most beautiful Primarch, the most anime Primarch, the most reasonable, the most scary, the most golden, even more golden than Doran is, my boy. He'd be having that zebra print thing on him. He dripped out. He got that cool ass spear, got the sword, man. What else? I need to do a video on Sanguinius. I need to make a video on Sanguinius. Can't nobody touch Sanguinius. He decapitates titans. You know what I'm saying? He fights fully powered Horus with all 4 Chaos Gods behind him. You know what I'm saying? He's like, he's super duper fast. Like, he's speed of light fast. No. He's low diffing greater demons. He low diff Carbonda. If Carbonda's the bane of the 9th, then Sanguinius is the bane of Carbonda, bro. No. Best Primarch. Don't at me. So moving right along, we're on number 10. The leader of the Iron 10th. Iron Hands himself, Ferrus Manus. Because Ferrus in Manus means iron in hands. So he most definitely, next to Corvus Corax, has the most uninspired name for sure. Where is this dude? Okay. I didn't even recognize this picture. He do look kind of like a really swole Italian mobster in this, don't he? Just kidding. He's C tier. Maybe a duelist. Maybe the tough guy. Maybe one of the bigger Primarchs. Lost to Fulgrim. Lost his head in more than one type of ways. And in these battles, keeping your cool is everything. If Fulgrim affects you so much to the point that you're getting beat by him basically twice, I don't think that you're one of the preeminent duelists. I think he's probably would have been one of the best war masters. I think his mastery over tank and technology and building stuff is sick. I can't get over that L, man. He even admitted it himself in ghost form that he was just doing too much. Let's say he was a different person and he took his time against Fulgrim and actually beat him. That would be a different Primarch, because that's not the way Ferrus Manus handled it. I'm sorry, he's got to be C tier. I almost want to put him in D tier, but I've got that reserved for somebody else. But I don't know. We'll see if we throw him in there or not. 11th Primarch, I couldn't even tell you. The 12th Primarch, my friend Angron. The most tragic of Primarchs. Definitely not better than these guys. Definitely not better than these guys. So Angron is a good fighter. He's got at least a victory over one person. So we're not going to count Russ. I think he lost to Russ as far as I'm concerned. He might have beat him, but he didn't beat him. Now Gilliman, he actually put them hands on Gilliman. He put them, well, Gilliman was using the power fists. So he put them axes on Gilliman. And he was in an increased state of emotional turmoil, which Gilliman made a mistake. You know, he provoked Angron without even trying to do so. But that being said, can I see Angron beating any of these other people? Varys, maybe. Pershabo, no. Man, I don't know. He's going to sit here in C tier, but I'm going to put him above Ferrus Manus. And this is biased because I really like Angron. He's stupid, and he's like one of those frustrating characters, but at the same time, you got to appreciate his savageness and his depression. The most angry, depressed person I've ever seen. It's so hilarious. Moving right along to number 13. We were just talking about Gilliman. Gilliman is slick, not a great fighter. I couldn't see him beating any of his brothers except for Lorgar and maybe Alfarius and Omegon, and not when they're fighting by themselves. In fact, I'll put my boy down there. I don't see Guilliman beating anybody. Does Guilliman have any W's over his brothers at all? Lost to Angron. Damn near lost to Lorgar's stepdaddy. You know, lost to a bunch of Demon Primarchs. Even the Khan could take out a Demon Primarch. I mean, they're more powerful now, but I don't think so. I don't think Guilliman's very strong as far as like, now he's a Primarch and he could beat most people's asses, but not his brothers. That's just my opinion. And I'm going to rank people lower than him. Don't worry about it. And also, disclaimer, I love Guilliman. Guilliman's one of my favorite Primarchs. I hate to do my boy like that, but he is not beating his brothers. He is not beating Perturabo. He is not beating Angron. Did not beat Angron. Actually, hold on. He might beat Ferrous Manus. He keeps his cool. Probably get outpowered. But like, if he keeps his cool, I'm gonna put Ferrous at the bottom since he's the only person to actually lose his life so early. It's just, I'm sorry. Also, Iron Warrior, Iron Hands fans, and Ferrous Manus fans. I apologize. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, so that was number 13. Number 14. Okay, so this is, now we're testing my 40k knowledge. I think Mortarion is number 14. I'm trying to remember the numbers as they come up. Mortarion is a good fighter. In fact, Mortarion's a very good fighter. He was trading with Vulcan on the Drotsite Massacre, and he was trading with Khan. I think that him and Khan are even. I think they're two sides of the same coin. Mortarion is very endurant and slow, and Khan is slightly more fragile, but like fast as fuck, boy. And I do think they could take Curze. I think Mortarion could take Curze. He's just, Curze can't do enough damage in time, and you know, I don't even think Mortarion feels that much pain, and he's just gonna take his time on Curze and beat him. Now, is he gonna beat the Lion? I mean, not the Lion. Is he gonna beat Russ? Don't know about that. I think Russ could probably take Mortarion, but not Curze. So he's in a precarious position. I'm gonna leave them where they're at. But Russ is probably stronger than Mortarion, but not stronger than Curve. These guys have a rock, paper, scissors. So number 15, I think, is actually the Thousand Suns. Where's my boy Magnus at? Magnus, so he almost needs two icons. Because Magnus on paper is up here on Sang's tier. For real, for real. He could just not unalive you. He could just erase you from the universe, straight up. He just like spirit bomb you like the Emperor would. But on paper, he's down here. Can't get a win on anybody. And then like Primarchs tend to be warp resistant to warp stuff, so his powers don't work. His powers are less effective against almost all of his brothers. I can't see him beating anyone besides even Guilliman. And like, so we can't just go by just on paper. We have to go with what I've read. And to be real with you, Magnus is bottom tier. I'm sorry. Well, let's say he could beat these guys. And yes, I am giving him all his powers. I don't know. Am I being too hard on him? What do y'all think? I'm gonna put him mid tier instead. Okay, that's the combination of the two. Instead of like being like he's total trash or he's totally overpowered, let's put him somewhere in the middle. Because if someone thinks that something's trash and someone thinks someone's really good, the truth usually lies somewhere in the middle. So Magnus is like a solid B tier. I'll put him over Fulgrim. So they're both arrogant. I don't know. They probably draw. So number 16, the Lupercal, as I like to call him, my boy Horus. One of the better fighters. Russ said that they're even. I believe it. I believe he could beat Curze. I believe he could beat Mortarion. I do not believe he could beat the Lion. I do not believe he could. Could he beat the Khan? Man, I don't know about that. I put so much respect on the Khan's name. He really is going to be that third or fourth guy. But like, Horus is up here though, bro. Horus is dusting these guys. And like, to be fair, like, maybe I should put Russ higher than this because Russ is like taking some of these people. Yeah, put Curze further down because he's unpredictable. Put this guy above Mortarion. There we go. There we go. But Mortarion has gone even against the Khan, and I think that's his, also just like trading with Vulcan. That's real powerful, dude. The only reason Dorn is down here is because he got stabbed. Dorn would almost be an S tier, but he got stabbed by Curze, and that's not very gangster to me. Okay, so number 17. I think that's actually Lorgar. The word bearer is number 17. So Lorgar is one of the worst fighters. He got better after he got magic, but even still though, like, it pales in comparison to Magnus. So we're gonna put him down here. I don't think he could beat Angron. I don't think he could beat Guilliman either. So Guilliman was about to kill this guy, even with the sorcery. Yeah, I'm gonna put him below Varus Manus also. But with magic, he's slick. It's kind of tricky, but it's just that, like, I just don't see him beating nobody, man. That just is what it is. Maybe we'll put him above Angron since he got him turned into a demon. Below Perturabo, since Perturabo would, like, blow him up with, like, a missile launcher or something, whatever. Hit him with the hammer, he goes splat. Yeah. In the middle of C. I can't believe I put this boy above Guilliman, though. He cannot go above Guilliman, man. It's like they have a rock, paper, scissors. Guilliman beats Lorgar, Angron beats Guilliman. So should I move Guilliman up a tier? Yeah. Okay. So we're pushing Guilliman up a tier, and we're going to make this the fairest tier. Varus. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. That's what happens. That's what happens when you die in the 4th book. The 5th. When you die in the 5th or 6th book. What was it? Fly of the Eisenstein, Angels of Caliban, and then Fulgrim. When you die in, like, the 6th book, you just get bottom tier. It is what it is. I'm sorry. We're not going to worry about the order so much anymore. So after number 17, we have number 18. That is Vulcan of the Salamanders. And look at how violent he looks in these pictures. Vulcan is probably taking everybody on this list out except for the Khan and the Lion. I think he could probably beat Khan because Khan's real fast, but, like, I don't know if he can damage Vulcan enough in time for him to land that one blow that he needs on him. Because Vulcan's way physically stronger than the rest of the Primarch, so I don't think he can take that hit. Mortarion's poison and deadly, and he's, like, proficient, but it's just different with Vulcan in my opinion. Vulcan also, like, drew with Curze. He basically beat Curze, so, like, he's definitely over there. Don't think he could take Horus. Don't think he could take the Lion, and he's definitely not touching Sang. So we're gonna leave him where he's at. Definitely S tier fighter. Do not want to run up on. None of the brothers really want to run up on Vulcan like that. I should almost move Curze down a tier, bro. But he's got some. He's got a. The fact that he's. The fact that Russ is scared of Curze is the only reason he's here. All right, so Corvus Corax, one of the best fighters. So, like, Corvus, it's straight word of mouth because he don't got no duels except for beating Lorgar, and that don't matter. That's like playing Arkham Asylum on easy, bro. That's like playing Street Fighter 2 with 1 star, man. Like, that's like playing the Tekken 3 demo. Like, you beat Lorgar, who cares? But I'm putting him up here because him and Curze have compared notes. Curze and Corvus have compared notes, and they both think that they're the superior fighter over each other, but they're basically twins. They have the same fighting style. He's better at stealth. This guy's stronger. So, like, they kind of balance each other out. I'm gonna put him right there. And as far as, like, these brothers over here, I don't think Corvus is beating any of these guys. But everybody below that, yeah, sure. If Dorn can't take Curze, he's definitely not taking Corvus. My boy Common Raven. Ain't nothing common about my boy except for his name. Alright, now we have Alpharius and Omegon. So this is a tough one because they're on one picture. So if they were just separate, they would go down here in the fairest tier because Alpharius got bodied by Dorn. But since they're together, you have to, like, multiply their fighting strength. I think together they can take a lot of these Primarchs, but I don't want to. S tier is already stacked, bro. So we're gonna put him in B tier, probably underneath Magnus and Fulgrim. And Dorn seems to be the separator between the top tier and the people that aren't that great at fighting, is what I'm seeing here. But I don't know. I can't believe S tier is this stacked on my list, bro. Are they all this good, bro? Like, they are not this close to each other, but are they? Should I push some people down to A tier? Is Doran beating any of these people? Maybe not, man. Maybe Mortarion. At most. Yeah. Yeah, nah, man. It is what it is. This is just my list. So we got Sang tier. You know what I'm saying? You got your S tier Primarchs. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is almost the majority of the brothers. Doran is the gatekeeper between S and the rest of the tiers. Very strong fighter. And then B tier is just people that have like potential, but don't necessarily do super well. And then Fulgrim. And then you have like your people that really aren't duelists like that. They're more like brawlers, crowd control, accountants and stuff like that. And then Varus is his own tier because he got decapitated in Fulgrim's book and he never got a chance to really do anything. But that was my Primarch tier list. I told you that it was going to be biased. Don't unsubscribe just because I put your favorite Primarch in Ferris tier or something or in C tier. It's all for fun. I don't really know what's going on. And perhaps we'll get some more books and we can move around these tiers some more. Maybe we could do an addendum. But, hey, is what it is. This is Ave Dominus Noob saying Ave Dominus. Perfect timing. This is Ave Dominus Noob saying Ave Dominus Nox.